people, including civilians, have been killed. A hail of shelling by Azerbaijan. They have been attacking Armenian positions.
Just today, Azerbaijan started heavily attacking.
We're being shelled in Stepanakert.
Day one of the Azerbaijani offensive.
Those Azeri shells hit this residential building.
This is Stepanakert.
Life has been like in Nagorno-Karabakh's capital Stepanakert for more than a week. Constant bombardment.
Life for these ethnic Armenian residents has taken a violent turn.
If you want to know what a war crime looks like, this is it.
Սկսելա շերվա դենց մեկի, 3-ի մոտ է։ Ասցի միրո, շուտը տանիքի դարթող Հայաստան արի։
Եկան ասեցին, ստեղ ապասնի արդեն, լայնամասշտաբ կռիվ ալինելու, երեխաները մեղք են տարեք, այդ աթասները ֆռում էին։
Կամիկաձե, անօթաչո թռչող սար։ Իրանք տենց շատ էին, էլի, շատ էին։
Today, we witnessed a new genocide.
We're always living with the specter of what happened and the genocide. It was like all these feelings came back up.
One of the prosecutors, a general, deputy prosecutor of Azerbaijan, he told me, look, sometimes we think that Hitler, he was right in his business. He will burn you alive, like in Auschwitz.
Բոլորին ջախջախեցին, մեր ընտանիքից էլ ազող գնաց է։
On September 27, 2020, nations of Azerbaijan and Turkey orchestrated a genocidal attack and ethnic cleansing against the Armenians of the autonomous independent Republic of Artsakh, also known as Nagorno-Karabakh. The attack, which lasted 44 days, took the lives of almost 5,000 Armenians and saw much of Artsakh occupied by Azerbaijan. With the world preoccupied with COVID-19 and the US further preoccupied with the presidential election, the media was not covering the assault.
Were you surprised at the relative silence of the international community?
No, I was not surprised. The countries act out of self-interest.
Geopolitics, thirst for Caspian oil, and Azerbaijan's aggressive disinformation campaign was shaping a false narrative. As an Armenian-American journalist, I knew that it was time to put aside my life, my career, and advocate for my motherland. Finally, it was time to go to Armenia.
Ինչպես վիրավորվար։
Հենց այդ ժամանակ մի անգամից կտրվեց ձեռքս ու իմացանք, որ մոտավոր մի 150 հոգի տղերք են, որ ձեռք-ոտք կտրվել է։
Մոտ 1 ամսվա ընթացքում ես ինքս տեսել եմ եւ ընկերների կորուստ, եւ համաձայնագից ընկերների կորուստ, եւ ենթակա զինվորների կորուստ։ Իսկ իմ համար ամենադաժանը ես տեսել եմ նաեւ հարազատ եղբորս կորուստը, ով պատերազմի ընթացքում նույնպես զոհվել է։
Everybody knew that every day people were being killed, but nobody is saying anything. Over 5,000 to 6,000 young soldiers killed, about 10,000 wounded, about 60,000 to 70,000 displaced.
There's nothing that can be done by an administration that already turned a blind eye to what was happening against Artsakh. The relative silence by countries in the world who should be rising up. Armenia doesn't have the same air force powers, it doesn't have the same military powers as Russia and Turkey and Azerbaijan. This is potentially an existential threat.
My first sentiment about the whole thing is just how tragically preventable it was. And then the horrific loss of life, Turkey's role in importing mercenaries from Syria, terrorists, to join the mayhem. When you do that, when you're not willing to hold one side accountable that's responsible, it's essentially green-lighting further aggression.
There have been blatant war crimes and crimes against humanity, and nobody so far has taken Azerbaijan into account. Nobody's challenging them, and they're just getting away with everything with impunity.
Azerbaijan and Turkey's campaigns of hate, violence, and disinformation continue, and it is an existential threat to both Artsakh and Armenia. Azerbaijan is currently negotiating a $2 billion weapons purchase. Their forces shoot at Armenian positions daily, killing soldiers and civilians. Aliyev's cultural genocide in occupied Artsakh, coupled with Turkey building a larger version of the Pentagon that Erdogan claims would strike fear into Turkey's enemies, threaten the future of Armenia and Artsakh, not seen since the Armenian Genocide.